So it's September the 28th, and I am currently having a very interesting conversation with the angel of peace and the angel of religion. These are two ones that I've just found now. Well, I found them yesterday. Well, I found one of them this morning and one of them yesterday. Although the weirdest thing about the angel of religion is that I came across that ad a few days ago, and I really wanted to find it because some of those songs just sounded like I don't know them, I don't remember them, I know nothing about them, but it sounded interesting. I wanted to hear them, but my brain just kind of like flashed and I couldn't remember anything, and I tried to type in something to try and find what her songs were. I couldn't find it, and so the voice in my head just told me, next time you see her ad, that is when you need to start analysing her. That is literally what the voice in my head said a couple of days ago when I saw her ad, because I was listening to some of the other songs and that came through and I was like, oh, I really want to analyse that. I can't remember who she was or what the name was. The ad didn't make her name very clear. It just gave names of songs, and for some reason I wasn't able to remember that when I was typing them in. But yes, I saw her ad just this morning when I woke up and went back to that song that put me to sleep last night, and that's when I saw her and I got distracted. But yeah, there was a couple of songs that I didn't understand because that two birds of a feather flocked together, and I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know what this is. And then I started analysing her songs, and then I started realising that Angel Religion makes sense because she seemed quite religious in lots, and of course Angel of False Religions, which is a good one, because she seems like she's in a lot of world countries. London, yes, is one of them, but Hindu and stuff like this is, there's a lot of multicultural people in London, so London kind of can represent any kind of religion, because that's every single person from all around the world seems to be mashed together into London. So but yeah, Angel of the False Religions is really what she kind of represents, although some of them might link more to Angel of Religion. Religion is dying, but I still feel like there's going to be a religion where people believe that after they die, they might be able to become gods one day. Now when it comes to Lily, there are things that I don't know. So a religion is just where you have beliefs, but you don't know if they're 100% true. You don't know if it can be like backed up or confirmed. So I want to end all religions, but at the end of the day, I don't actually know much about Lily. I don't actually know much about my next self, or if it's possible to become a god. Like I know it is. I know that it is possible to become a god, because I've become a god, and I don't believe that I've done it through anything special. I think I've done it simply by living on a timeline and growing, developing, and becoming a god, and then making loads and loads of timelines, hence why I'm very experienced right now. But yeah, when it comes to this, it is a religion, because I can't 100% prove that you will become a god. Maybe 10 people become gods, maybe 100 million people become gods. I don't know. It would depend on how many planets there are in the sky. But then I also feel like there's like a middle way place, like maybe there is some sort of world within the Matrix where you can point your finger and make spaghetti bolognese come true. I don't know about this, so it's not like I want to end all religions, because I do believe that there might be some sort of fairyland where things aren't real, where matter isn't really important, but you can sort of upload your brain. I do believe that this might be possible. I just don't think we have the technology right now, and the point of telling people that we have the technology right now is basically just to reduce the population. But I do feel like there's some truth in it. There's some truth in all religions except Islam, but even then there is some truth, because it's upside down. So if you convert it, if you invert things, then you start seeing the truth. But yes, I also want to show, I bought some donuts 2 days ago, and I'm going through them, but yesterday I had 2 more packs. They're only 29p, and I got 2 packs of them. So I was trying to save to lose weight, and I don't think it's going to happen, because I've got way too many donuts, and I bought my dad 5 jam donuts. I don't like jam, but they were only 35p. So, but yes, I'm very happy because I'm surrounded by donuts. But yeah, I was angry this morning because I needed to talk about just that horrible experience of being on this. I was about to say the M1 was full of graffiti and stuff, but when we went up to Oxford, we were on the M40, and that one there wasn't as much graffiti. Like that road felt so much nicer and so much better. Like there was less graffiti on that road. I don't know why, but the M1 was particularly bad. The M40 was much better, but uh, Oxford was amazing. I was shocked. Okay, they had the school reunion. I haven't been. I've been to one school reunion, maybe two. I think it's only one. It might have been two, in like 25 years. So I haven't been there since I was 16, and that was about 25 years ago. And yeah, I don't really know what to say about the school. I mean, it was. I liked the fact that I got to see it and got to kind of just be remembered of what my life was like when I was 13 to 16. I was only there for 3 years, but yeah, I was just impressed by how amazing Oxford was. Oxford seems to be one of the few places in England that is so much better than what it was. They have a massive shopping centre, this gigantic shopping centre that did not exist back then. When I was at boarding school, I would have loved to leave the school and then go to this shopping centre. Like, that would have been like a highlight of my life, to sneak out of school and go to there. And now what? But back then, none of that existed. There was just a couple. There was like one street of high streets, and then just lots of architecture. So I have memory of I did photo shoots. And I used to. There's a couple of days where I went around town to take pictures of the architecture there. There was a lot of nice architecture, but Oxford is a really, really beautiful place, and it's making me realise that I was taking things for granted, because Hampstead is a gorgeous area. There's some lovely houses here, and I went from Hampstead to Oxford, and it looks the same. It looks the same as Hampstead. It's just like Hampstead, but in a different part, like 2 hours drive away, and it just looks so nice. And after living in Birmingham for 7 years, which is basically like a shithole town, shithole city, should I say? It really does make me feel kind of envious over anyone that gets to live in a nice area like that. I don't regret it, because I feel like I need to have a more realistic sense of what the world is like. And I think being brought up in Hampstead and in Oxford, it made me feel like the world was so much nicer, so much better than. I had loads of dreams when I was this age. I wanted to do so much and believed that I could do so much. I just needed to learn how to do it, and everything would just fall in place, and it never happened. And yeah, but if I was very deluded when I was younger about how nice this world was, it would be because I was living in these areas. And it looked actually so much more nicer than I remember, because I remember when I was there, I didn't like appreciate it. It was just like, yeah, these are nice houses, but so is lots of places in Hampstead, and so is Hampstead, and so is a lot of places in London. So I never really saw it as being anything special. And yeah, graffiti had not destroyed the city. But there are some places. There are loads and loads of places in England that are just so much worse with multiculturalism. But this place actually worked. And if there are people in government who don't think that that England is being taken over by multiculturalism, find out where these people live. Because if they live in a nice area, if there's very few Muslims walking around their area, or if the few Muslims that are walking around are like one of the super rich, of course they're not going to see the bad side. You'd have to live in the sort of the bad areas that are falling apart to think that there's an Islamic takeover. But yeah, I've got donuts to cheer me up. And what else to say? I don't think I know what else to say. But I'm having a conversation with the angel of, the negative names are angel of peace, who wants people to rest in peace or wants people to be laid down in peace. And angel of false religions. These two come together, and I'm having it's just kind of an interesting relationship. The younger one's clearly a lot younger. Actually, technically, the age gap is actually a lot bigger than you think, because most of the Angel of Pieces were done like 10 to 15 years ago, whereas most of the Angel of Religion seems to be done in the last few months or last few years. So the age gap is actually massive, but you're kind of ignoring that because you're only seeing the video, so you're only able to see what they're like now. But yeah, it's a very cute relationship, and I'm kind of enjoying this fake conversation that they're having through the songs.